So I think it's time for a change-up. Coins are getting old, I guess. I don't know. Interesting, but getting old. Well, I'm jumping into silver more. Silver and gold now, but that's me. Don't take that as gospel. I just feel it's time to buy more silver and gold right now. That's what I'm doing. So I'll let you look into that here a little bit later. But right now, I'm thinking I'm going to jump on this USS Chicago guided missile cruiser. Models. Let's see. This one. I can't remember. They say it's 16 inches long. Of course, nothing looks like the pictures that they do. It would be interesting, though, if I got, I might look into that, say a carrier. There's another cruiser back there. But maybe a couple other ships of the same size. And not seeing the scale here. I don't. Interesting. 16 inches long doesn't tell me much, nothing. And it sure doesn't look like it's got any serious detail to this. This was an older version. It was actually made in Morton Grove, Illinois. And if I remembered right, I was thinking this was copyrighted in 70s. Nope, wrong. 96. And I am not reading the scale. It does say, well, little details of it right there. In 64, she was completely converted to carry guided missiles and a crew of 1,000. This is interesting. I am curious to find out what scale this is. But I will figure it out and let you know. It is still in the plastic. And I'll give you some blow-by-blow pictures and videos of it. And see how well we can make it look like the picture. Probably not very well, but why the USS Chicago? I don't know. I grew up there in my teen years. That's where I got enlisted and joined the Marines at, where I quit high school, blah, 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 and all the other things. So I just thought, why not? Plus, I was in a coin shop not too long ago, and a woman walked in while I was just leaving, and she had found, so actually her husband owned, and she worked at, what do you call it, a storage unit. And a woman came in and said, I can't pay for this anymore, you can have anything in there. She found a bunch of coins that really weren't worth much. They were foreign coins. A bunch of nice old pictures. Just a bunch of memorabilia from some World War II sailor. Well, some of the things that she found was this article, let's see, this one here, August 15th, 1945. The big headlines, obviously, is the Jap nation surrenders. There was also, if you remember, the Indianapolis, where Jaws made famous. You know, if you can remember, they were talking about the being on the Indianapolis when it got sunken and then sharks eating everybody. Anyway, we won't go into that. It's too grimace. But let's see here if this was nope. And then she had another one. Japs accept peace terms, and 25 dead in wreck of Empire Building. The Empire State Building, apparently some observation cars wrecked and killed a bunch of people. This one was dated August 10th, 1945. And I thought, one thing I thought kind of funny, Soviet Army invades Korea. Not funny, interesting. Let's see here. President praises Russia as ally. Interesting. Well, she just gave me these. She's, I was oohing, googling and goggling all over them, and she just gave them to me. So I thought those were pretty cool, as well as a postcard. And I don't think I saw a date. No, there was no date on them, but two postcards. One of the USS Saratoga. Let me get that a little better picture than that. There we go. A very interesting carrier. And, of course, one of the USS Chicago, which is different a little bit. As you notice, the guns on this one versus guided missiles, which I just read. It was converted over. I'm hoping that it has the guns on as an option, but no, I doubt it. So it says guided missile cruiser, so that would be interesting, but I'll put it with this picture anyway. With, oh my goodness, as many times as I've been there, I can't tell you what that background is. Maybe somebody can remind me. If you can see where that is back in there. I know that. Oh, Lord. And I cannot tell you where it is. But anyway. Okay, so there we are. That's what's going to be next. I will show you, let you know how it goes. And we'll see what happens. Semper Fi. So, got a package open. Looking to get started. And I was right. This must be a later packaged model. It said 96 on it, but the copyright on the model itself for this ship is for 76. Right there. So, and of course, I kind of jumped the gun here. Come to find, I'd already taken most of my paints and tape down to the workshop, so I'm going to have to do something about that. As I also mentioned before, not a lot of detail, and it is the guided missile version, which is okay. I wish I'd have thought about that before I ordered it, but nonetheless, we'll make it do best I can. Let's see what happens here. The instructions are pretty poor. For instance, nothing gets painted until the end, and well, come on. At the end, it's a black and white picture. Just tells you red hull, black stripe for the water line, gold propellers, white fins on the missiles, and so forth, little stuff like that. And then the decals, well, not much in the way of decals. So, that's what we get to work with. Let's see what I can make it look like. On a wing and a prayer. Fair sailing. Semper Fi. So, using frog tape, this green stuff wasn't necessarily a good idea. Thought it wouldn't leak, but that's what I get for thinking, huh? Oh well, not a problem. Just one more thing to deal with. Alright, let's keep going. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you. Here she is so far. I don't claim to be any professional with this, but I'm fairly satisfied the way it's coming along. But when I was doing this, I got to thinking, I'd sure like to hear from somebody that may have served on this ship. Whether you know it or not, I did spend some time in the Marines, and I never got on a ship like this, but I have been on a few. It is a different life, different way of life. So if you served on this, or you have a family member that has, first off, I apologize for the newer version. This is copyrighted 1976, which makes it a conversion over to a missile, a guided missile carrier, but ship. But I would have liked to have had the older version, and oops, once again, let's see here if I can get rid of some of that glare. This is an old postcard. So, anyway, there we are so far. I will keep at it and stay with more of the slideshow than me jaw-jacking over here. Okay, let me know. Semper Fi. So, here is my version of the USS Chicago by monogram. I still do not know what the dimensions are. Bottom line, the instructions are very poor. I had to look up a lot of this online, get some resemblance of detail. But overall, and it is the cruiser version from 1976 model or copyright. It's not a lot of detail, and I'm not real good at that. Didn't make a very good sailor as a Marine. So, not too bad, I guess. But, 2 reasons that I wanted to do this. Again, one, because somebody gave me this picture, or a postcard I should say, which I thought was pretty cool. But I might do a little more detail, try to get a little more detail to it, but nothing too much. And reason number 2, I'm going to be going to California to be with my mother, who has been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at 84 years old. And she pretty much raised me and my 2 sisters in Chicago. We spent a lot of time on a farm with our grandparents, and well, she had to settle in and get things done and get a good job and get a place to take care of us. And when she did, we moved to Chicago. And I have to say, I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed Chicago back then. In the 60s, it was a different place than it is today. And I liked it. So, anyway, the USS Chicago guided missile cruiser. I don't understand it, but I'm sure she didn't last real long with the new stuff, but that's all we had was a couple of missiles there, some small ship defense, and some guns, and a couple of missiles back here, and of course the rescue and recon helicopter. But that's what it was back then. Anyway, it is 0110, 0110, yep. So I'm going to try to get a little bit of sleep, and like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you. Semper Fi.